Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to see so many of you here today. And what I will do is I will give you a little context for the day, and then we go straight on to the first presentation afterwards. This is the second of a series of 6 seminars. We were awarded an ESRC Research Seminars Competition Award, and there are therefore 6 universities taking part, and I think most of the people involved are here today. Now you will see today is the second one, and please make a note in your diaries. The next one is 10th of June, organized at Cranfield, and we have, gosh, it's so efficient, actually some of the details for the 10th of June seminar already here. And if you want to ask any question, Peter Allen at the front, yes. You can ask Peter. The other date you need to put in your diary is the 6th of November. This one will be at Lancaster, and it will be on complexity and the international arena, to be being organized by Professor Geyer at Lancaster. Now, he has actually even arranged for a special issue of the Cambridge Review of International Affairs for publishing of the papers, because getting papers out and published is going to be one of the objectives of the whole seminar. So as you can see, our objectives for the whole series are very specifically for today. So one of our objectives is to identify the grand challenges that can actually be addressed by complexity science. That is one of the key things. For today, we are focusing on new policy-oriented research to address the problem of sustainable energy provision in the context of climate change. Now, a lot of you, and thank you very much, have actually submitted some ideas as to what these challenges may be. And in a moment, I will actually give you a summary of those challenges, and I will tell you the process for the day. I'm presenting them early so to give you lots of time to start networking and talking to other people, because what we really want to do is to develop some ideas for multidisciplinary research project proposals. So that is one of the key things for today. And then, of course, if you have ideas for papers, then please send an abstract, a short abstract, to Jeff and to myself, because at the moment we're looking into either an edited volume or a special issue of one of the journals. Okay, this is the program. Very much as you already have it. This afternoon, what I would like to focus on is that we at 3:20, we're going to have additions to the grand challenges. So I will ask the panel, please, while you're listening today to all the presentations, please make a note of the additional challenges. So I will present now a summary of the ones that were submitted, so we need additional ones. And they will go up on flip charts. They will be next door where you're having coffee, so you can add to them during the day and also put your name down for discussion. And I will also ask participants to add. So if you think I have not actually picked up your particular concern and you feel strongly about it, then put it up later. Okay. So these are some of the key issues that came through the notes that you have actually sent back to us. So obviously security of supply is a key issue, but so is management of demand. And then, of course, the environmental impact, economics, then diffusion of new energy technologies, and obviously government energy policies and the future of regulation in the energy industry. So this is the background. These are the areas that we'll need to take into account. More specifically, what came through is that we need to develop quantitative tools and techniques to model coevolutionary dynamics. Those of you who come from the complexity community, I think you will understand how important it is to actually model those coevolutionary dynamics. As climate change is taking effect, we are adapting to it. What are the consequences of that adaptation? Government are making policy. The European Commission is making policy. If we are to actually adapt those policies, what will be the consequences of that adaptation? So it isn't only a matter of adaptation, but of co-evolution. And I very much wanted to add, when I put EMK, that's my additions there, that quantitative tools and techniques are not going to be enough. We also need to look at the qualitative tools and methods. Because we need to also look at the human response and so on to assess and to forecast the effects of adaptation that lead to the coevolutionary dynamics. So it was quite natural, really, that there were a lot of comments in terms of agent-based modeling, that we really wanted to investigate how different approaches to individual behavioral change may impact on an organization's overall energy consumption. So tools and techniques are going to be quite significant. Now, as someone has pointed out, grid, cloud and cluster computing, web services, common information model are already in being, but the problem is that they're not being fully exploited by the energy and electrical power industry sectors. So this could also be another area to look at, working with the energy and electrical power industry. The other big area that you highlighted was renewables. And of course, reliability of forecasting of renewable power supply and fluctuations in demand is absolutely key here, because it is quite difficult at the moment, and as someone else has said, it's the operated controlling and optimization that are going to be the big challenges. Now, one thing you may or may not know is that the Met Office and the Natural Environment Research Council have just launched a joint climate research program. In fact, that was launched only last week. I was at the launch, and some very, very exciting things are happening. And I think we need to keep in touch with that joint program, because one of the things they are also focusing on is more reliable forecasting. But in their case, it's not so much the forecasting of renewable power supply. In their case, is the more accurate forecasting of both weather and climate. So they are looking into ways of doing that more effectively. But the work that they're doing may feed into this kind of work we're interested in. And then we had challenges in terms of pro-environmental behavior in the workplace, in the home environment, and appropriate infrastructures for urban areas. So 3 different areas to look at to actually enhance, improve environmental behavior. And then the other important point was how information, for example, about trade agreements and their implications, can actually then be disseminated, but not just disseminated, but also so that policymakers and users can actually understand the implications of these agreements. Now, the Cambridge Centre for Energy Studies are obviously very well organized, and I did not pull apart their points, because they seem to have quite a coherent point. Who is here from Cambridge? Right, okay, 2 people at the back. So, what I would encourage you to do, as I said, we will have flip charts next door with the main headings that I have just identified. You can ignore them completely and actually put up your own headings, or if you like them, then please put down your name, because at the end of the day, we will ask you to discuss the area you're interested in small groups, to simply begin to make these connections. Whom would you like to work with to put a project proposal together? That's why I'm sort of presenting all this now, to give you the entire day to make these contacts. So use the board next door, use the flip charts, put up your ideas, but you cannot split yourselves yet. So you may be interested in more than one area. So I suggest that, in fact, I forgot to tell, is Wojtek, are you here? No, he's not here. He's putting up the flip charts next door. So that we have two lists. One is the people who want to take part in this afternoon's discussion, and another list that you are interested in the topic. So whoever is leading the topic, please get in touch with me if in future meetings and so on, so that if you are interested, as I said, in 2 or 3 topics, that you do not actually miss out. And then it would be good, if you're feeling passionate about a particular topic, make yourself known this afternoon when I'll be asking for contributions to the challenges, because you can then lead that particular little discussion. Okay. Any points, any questions, any? No? Great, excellent.